Welcome to Uncommon Analysis. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends and neighbors. I'd appreciate it. And if you've already subscribed, welcome back. Well, today I want to talk a little bit about the charges that have been filed against New York State, the governor of the state, Letitia James, and I forget the other guy, another politician, by Pam Bondi, by the U.S. Department of Justice. These are all civil charges. Let me make that clear from the start. They're not criminal charges. First, I want to show you the press release announcing these charges. This video is probably going to be a little bit longer because that alone is going to be about 5 minutes, but I would ask that you please watch it through its entirety because it's important for what I'm going to talk about afterwards. I plan to show you the full, not the full, but at least 5 minutes of this announcement of the charges, the response to the charges from various folks in New York City that have been charged, and then I want to talk about the political optics and fallout of this potential case. So maybe a little bit longer today, but please stick with me. I appreciate it. If you do, I think you hopefully will learn something. All right, here we go. What did they have to say?
With us with the delay. We're here today because we have filed charges against the state of New York. We have filed charges against Kathy Hochul. We have filed charges against Letitia James and Mark Schroeder, who is with DMV. This is a new DOJ, and we are taking steps to protect Americans, American citizens, and angel moms, like the mom standing right behind me, who you're going to hear from in a moment. New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. As you know, we sued Illinois, and New York didn't listen. So now you're next. Millions of illegal aliens with violent records have flooded into our communities, bringing violence and deadly drugs with them. With me today, I'm so proud to be joined by Tammy Nobles. Tammy is an angel mom. Her beautiful daughter, Kayla Hamilton, was murdered by an MS-13 member in 2022. Kayla had just turned 20 years old, and she was raped and murdered by someone who should not have been in our country. Yet, he was released, flown to Maryland, where he committed this violent murder. I just want you to hear from, Tammy. Tammy represents not only herself and her family, but all of the great angel moms around this country who have suffered because of what the Biden administration did, and it is over.
Thank you for having me here today and being able to share Kayla's story. Her murderer was able to come across the border knowing that he was flagged as an MS-13 gang member, and he had a criminal record in 2020 in El Salvador for illicit gang activity. He came over as an unoccupied alien child, saying that he was afraid of gang activity in his country. Health and Human Services called him a nice boy, and he showed age-appropriate behavior. That fell so wrong when he murdered my daughter. He ended up in Maryland, where he was able to rent a room in the same mobile home as her. We thought it was a legit company that were renting out these rooms, but it turned out that it was another illegal immigrant who owned these mobile homes. And he knew Walter from El Salvador. He knew him and allowed him to rent a room with my child. Kayla just turned 20 years old 3 days before she was murdered. Her murderer was only living there for 5 days before he viciously strangled her, raped her, and left her on the floor like trash and robbed her of $6. I have been sharing her story for over 2.5 years to bring change, because this should have not have ever happened to Kayla, and it shouldn't be happening to other families being hurt by the border. Homeland Security did not do their jobs. They did not check his background. You know, They did say that he was processed. So if they processed him, they knew that he was a gang member and still allowed him here. Health and Human Services did not verify the sponsor and allowed him to go with a sponsor that they don't even know if it was his cousin or his aunt. And he was able to leave the sponsor's house to go live wherever he wanted. And I am going to continue sharing Kayla's story to help save others and to bring awareness of what was happening under the Biden-Harris administration. And I'm so thankful for Pam having me here today. And I'm so thankful for the opportunities I got from Trump and any other platform, people who allowed me to share her story, because this is going to end. No other parent should suffer by having their child murdered by somebody that shouldn't be here. And I'm going to continue, sharing it, and for Kayla, and also for others. Thank you.
And it's my understanding that he also admitted to other murders, correct? Multiple murders.
Yes, he wrote a letter, and it was intercepted in jail that he committed 4 murders and 2 rapes.
And that's who we were letting walk into our country.
All right, I got to stop it there, and I got to try my best to hold my emotions in check, because obviously I am angry, and I think any sane person should be as well. What's the response to this? Well, the response to this has been, let's see, tip-off provision. They're talking about tip-off provision. Commission would promptly inform illegal aliens of federal. New York response. It's a routine civil action about a law passed 2019 has been held in the courts in the past. Here are the facts. Current law allows federal immigration officials to access DMV based warrant. Adams and Letitia James, whatever, basically calling it, it's a civil suit. It's got no basis. We're going to be fine. We're going to win. Okay. So let me go and say this. The optics on this for the Democrats are horrendous. Got to speak up from the political, because it's a political channel. So talk about a personal channel. I believe me, I could go so many places with this. But from the political perspective, these are civil suits being brought against these folks. And even if Democrats win, which they may, I'm not going to say how this is going to play out. Civil court's just a whole other world. But the optics for Democrats are horrendous. Even if they win these suits, even these suits get dismissed, even if they go to trial, it's going to be even worse. Because the perception is, and it's going to always be, you are protecting and defending illegal aliens, violent illegal aliens. You let them in, and then you protect them once they're here. I don't care how the case goes down. That's effectively how the optics of this are. Okay? Americans are being raped, murdered, robbed. And it's not, of course, the people like Kathy Hochul or her family get affected by this. Do you think this stuff would be going on if one of the Obama daughters had wound up dead on that floor? Of course not. Raped and dead on that floor, do you think this would still be going on? Of course not. But they're not the ones that ever have to deal with the consequences of their horrific actions. Ever. It's the poor and middle class that have to deal with the crap that these people unleash. Almost always. They don't respect you. They don't care about you. They don't care at all. You are fodder. Doesn't matter as long as they get what they want out of it. And that's what the Democrats now are going to have to do. They're going to have to go to court. And they may win the civil cases. They may go and win. This civil case before to be tossed. Hochul may get off and not found guilty of anything. Same thing with Letitia James. But do you understand the optics here? Do you understand the optics? The optics are terrible for Democrats. Politically, this is a no-win. They painted themselves in the corner by their behavior for the last 4 or 5 years, letting everyone in. You heard this. This is a person with a known conviction in the country they came from. And what happened? They let him in. He's a nice boy. And they ship him off to somewhere so he can rape and murder multiple people. So you're a Democrat voter. If you supported Biden, justify this. Go ahead. Justify your defense of open borders, of the Biden policies around illegal immigrants. I'm sorry, I'm calling them illegal immigrants is bullshit anyway. Illegal aliens. Justify it. Go ahead. Defend it. Put in the comments right now. Defend it. I challenge any Biden voter on the planet, get in the comments of this and try to defend what happened to this woman and the policies that let this piece of shit into this country in the first place. Go ahead. Go ahead. I dare you. So, anyway, sorry, I'm getting a little worked up. The point being is the Democrats are in a terrible place with this. I don't know where these lawsuits are going to go. It's civil court, civil cases. But even if the Democrats win the lawsuits, the optics are going to be terrible. They're going to have to spend years defending, at least from all appearances, murderers being led into this country. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be perceived. They're defending policies that help protect murderers. You can spin it however you like. You can put whatever rose-colored glasses you want on. You can put as much lipstick on the pig as you want. You can win the case at the end of the day. But that is the optics of this. And it's a no-win. The Democrats are just in a world of hurt here. Purely politically. Purely for political. They can say whatever they want. They can claim it's just, this is just, the Republicans being crazy and the Democrat. These laws have already been litigated and yada yada. At the end of the day, there's people like this woman's child dead because of policies that these people defended and implemented. Doesn't matter how the actual civil case goes. They could, the civil case could be dismissed. They could have a trial and, found innocent of everything. Ruling can go in their favor. It does not matter. The optics on this are a no-win for Democrats. Absolutely no win when you view it from purely the political prism. This is bad. If I'm a Democrat right now, this is your future because of what your party has done. This is your future. You have to sit there and take this because there is no spin you can create or offer that will change that optic. Don't have to like it, but it is nice to see them on the receiving end of this horse crap for once. So we'll see how this plays out. I don't know. I honestly don't know how it'll play out in terms of the actual verdicts. But I can tell you politically, this is an absolute no-win for the Democratic Party. Absolutely no way to win this. There is no way you can change the narrative here or change the optics. Americans have been killed, raped, murdered, harmed, permanently disabled, robbed by the people you let in here and the policies you continue to engage in to protect them. Now, whether you believe they're right or wrong, the policies you're believing is really going to be irrelevant at the end of the day. Even if they are right, it's not going to matter. The optics are you are putting illegal aliens ahead of Americans. And there's just no way around that. That is an atrocious place to be. And that's where the Democratic Party is. All right, guys. That's all I got for today. Hope you have a great one, and I am out.